What's going on, guys? Matt Venezia here. I'm outside Desert Financial Arena, the home of ASU women's basketball, volleyball, men's basketball, wrestling, all those different teams. Here outside DFA, we have a special edition of Sun Devil Sit Down. We're going to talk to a few volleyball players, get to know them a little bit here inside DFA. So why don't we get inside and get this thing rolling? I'm here with ASU Volleyball's Marta, Levinska, and Iman, Isanovic. Ladies, thank you so much for wanting to be here for this ASU sit-down that we're doing.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we're just going to catch up. We're going to pass the ball around a little bit, ask some questions, and get to know these two ladies a little bit more here on this special edition of Sun Devil Sit-Down. Here we go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
So obviously, Marta and Iman, you two are the best ASU volleyball hitters the roster has so far. You guys are constantly relied on by Coach Tomasevic. So it seems like the relationship you guys have on the court obviously stems from stuff off the court. What is your relationship like with each other as far as being friends away from volleyball?
I think me and Iman just get each other very well because we're both international. We both kind of grew up playing similar kind of game.
With similar coaches.
Exactly, and I feel like we just can relate to each other a lot.
Yeah, going off of that, oh, this is cool. I agree. We definitely stem from a similar coaching style and volleyball school, so it was kind of easy getting us two together. But outside the court, I think we just our kind of norms and values aligned too, and I think that helps us with our chemistry on the court, but off the court as well.
Okay, so all the stuff that you guys do away from the court clearly is making a difference. I mean, Iman, you're climbing up the ranks right now in all-time kills. Marta, you're still 1 year behind Iman, so you're getting there as we speak. So what do you think leads to all that success that you guys are able to do here for the Sun Devils here at DFA?
I think it's definitely just the whole team and the support we get from coaches, the support we get from our teammates, and it's just the trust that they put in us, and we realize our importance to the team, and we know we have to deliver. So I think that's a huge motivator for us.
Yeah. Also, I think no matter the amount of potential that one person has, none of it's I don't know. I gave a interview question that was similar to this, and the answer was when you're getting to the diamond, there's a lot of layers that you have to come through, and obviously that alludes to the the natural potential that people have in certain sports, but that wouldn't be none of it wouldn't be possible without the continuous support of our teammates and the continuous support of our coaches, and just the everyday practice and everyday scenarios that we go through that help us become those leaders and that you see on those ranking scores. But other than that, it's truly the team as a whole, including the coaches and our teammates, that help us be the people we are today.
So with all that said, we've been hyping you guys up. You guys know where your skills are at. I think it's time that we put it to the test and see these kills that you guys offer every night here at DFA.
I am ready.
Let's go.
Now guys, a few seasons back during the COVID year, you were a freshman, Marta. Iman, you were a sophomore. The talk of the team was that you guys just needed experience, that you guys were going to get there eventually. Obviously, that was a really weird season with only conference games. Now you guys are upperclassmen. So what have you guys learned from being in that position that some of these underclassmen are in today that you're helping them through this process of adjusting to college volleyball?
The adjustment period was definitely, honestly, quite long for me, and I think for a lot of people, because we have a new system, the different level of play, and there's some shots that are going to work in your level, but they're not going to work in this level. So and the COVID year was pretty tough, but I feel like it made our team a lot stronger because there was a lot of adversity, and I feel like me and Iman try to do our best to support our freshmen and our sophomores, because we've been there, and we know how frustrating it is at first and how hard it is at first. And yeah, and I think that's what like makes us our team like very much like good friends, and we have such a great relationship with each other because I think we just try to support each other.
From my end, I totally agree with what Marta was saying, but I think the biggest thing that I try to kind of like reiterate with our freshmen and like with our underclassmen is that like it's okay not to be perfect, because I think that everyone here has like such high expectations of themselves and they want to perform to like the highest level possible, which is like the nature of everyone. Like you want to do the best, to be the best in whatever you're doing, but the truth of the matter is that like sometimes it's not going to work. Like sometimes you're going to have bad days, and I think it was funny because like when the freshmen, for example, see me or see Marta, and we're like, we're having like a good day, because we're in the system for a long time, we know like the loopholes and stuff like that, and like we have the knowledge that they don't, but I tried to like just bring them back to reality and be like, hey, I was literally in your shoes too when I was a freshman, because when I was a freshman I was literally coming every single day early and like to hit that line shot that I couldn't get down. Literally I didn't need any blockers there. The antenna was like my biggest enemy at that point. So it's just like okay not to be perfect and to be like a work in progress, because eventually your time is gonna come. So I think with that thought in mind, it relieves a lot of stress.
Now you guys are talking about the team as a whole. This team specifically has a handful of international players. You both are international players led by an international head coach. So can you speak a little bit on the importance of having people from across the seas and different parts of the world all here in Tempe representing the Sun Devils here? What has that experience been like?
I think it's great having so many different kind of people on a team, because I feel like everyone is special in their own way, and it's amazing having people from all over the world bringing their own kind of like quirks and like the way they like to play the game, and how we all kind of just like go on like the same wavelength, and we're able to just use everyone we have, and having like different kind of people, it makes I feel like playing a lot more special and a lot more fun. So yeah, I think it's great, and I think we embrace our internationals and our Americans. We have so many, great personalities on the team, and I think it only has pluses in my opinion, but maybe I'm biased.
Yeah. Well, I think that it brings a lot of like different point of views that is like a necessity, especially like when you're assessing certain situations. It's very good to have like different point of views, because like having just like tunnel vision sometimes can like be a trap. But like with like different personalities, like Marta said, different cultures, we can like truly like become like more adaptable, not only as a team but like also when we like one day finish like playing volleyball, because that day is like it's inevitable that's going to come, like it'll prepare you for the future in the long run, because you're going to be able to communicate with people who are not maybe as similar as you are. But also like specifically volleyball wise, I think it brings us like an advantage, because we have to truly be mindful about the fact that we have so many different people on the team, and that like we like people have different styles of like expressing themselves. So with everything that in mind, I think we also we just like bond more as a team, as Marta said.
Now for you two individually, you both have experience playing professionally in representing your home countries in Latvia and Bosnia. What for you guys was that like, and how different is the game internationally at that level compared to the college level here in the Pac-12, one of the best conferences in college volleyball there is? What do you guys see as the differences between the two different levels of playing the same game?
There are like multiple aspects, because sometimes it's so much easier playing like for the national team, because a particular thing about college volleyball, especially Pac-12, is the speed of the game. I think like the speed of the game is much, you have to like as a blocker you have to be like much more focused, you have to like your eye work has to be like very like top notch. But like sometimes when you play professional volleyball and you have like a 6'4" person on the side, side, you know, sometimes the balls are going to be higher, so like it's easier like in that aspect to block or something. But I think, you know, it's just like always cool having that like two different points of view from like, you know, playing against people who are literally playing volleyball for a living to like college like volleyball players. I think you take you know, bits and pieces of information for both sides and like tailor it to like get the most out of the both worlds.
Yeah. I think it definitely like helped us a lot, like especially for me. I think I was like 17. I was playing with like 30-year-olds. I was like, this is very weird, and I haven't done that before. But yeah, I think it just like definitely helped like me having played in national team and then coming back here to just like know like how we play against so many, like a national team against so many experienced players that played the game for so many years, and I think there's so much to learn from them. And you know, and then you come here and you definitely see like, you know, everyone is kind of in the 4-year age gap, so it's definitely, I would say definitely a little bit harder and like level size to play against like national team kind of teams. And yeah, I think it's a great experience for us both.
Well, having players like you guys here on this side of the net for the Sun Devils is very helpful in a conference that, as we just mentioned, is so challenging. Conference season is now underway, and this is now year 3 of you all both being together for the Sun Devils. What's it going to be this year? What do you guys think this team is capable of? And as we just said, one of the toughest conferences in the nation.
Yeah, I think we haven't tapped into our fullest potential, and I really hope we're going to get to do that this season. And I'm really excited. I know in my heart what this team is capable of, and yeah, I'm just excited, and I really hope we'll get some really nice upsets and just get even better.
Yeah, one thing that we never shy away from is like just putting on a good show. Like when we were talking like a few minutes ago, like we were talking about the UCLA upset, you know, like the U of A upset, and all the upsets that we had. I think like that's only like a glimpse truly of what we can do. You know, like our record didn't necessarily this season, like it didn't necessarily start how we wanted it to be, but it's time to like climb back. And I think with being in such a challenging conference, we have the opportunity to show not only to ourselves, because we at this point we know what we're capable of, and it's like Marta says, like our body knows what to do, but sometimes it's like the mental strains that is kind of like a little bit more challenging. It's always super fun playing against such good teams. Like you said, we play Oregon, and they're like top 10 at this point or something like that, but they are like a top 25 team. So it's gonna be like super nice. And as long as we stay as a team, I think we can tap into that potential and show everyone what we got.
Well, you heard it here first. The Sun Devils, Marta and Iman, are ready. It's going to be interesting to see what this team can do, and this has been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys today here at DFA. So thank you so much for joining us here for this special edition of Sun Devil Sit Down, and we'll be keeping an eye on these girls throughout the rest of the year here at DFA.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.